Drives me crazy.
Hey. Welcome. Cujo's in the chat. G'day, Cuj.
Hello.
Deno rocking the bare feet like a soldier. Yeah, he is our version of the barefooted warrior.
I'm not sure he knows what shoes actually are.
No, I mean,
doesn't.
to be fair, most people from Queensland don't really know what
I've never
shoes
heard of a shoe.
No. I mean, not really a string conversation, but I wonder what their soles are like on the bottom of their feet.
I've seen his.
Scarred,
I've
brutalised.
seen his and it's awful.
Liam, did you ever see, when we all went to QMHE, did you ever see the Deno toe pics that came out?
No.
All right, so long story short, Deno was rocking barefoot, and we all just decided we were going to take pictures of his feet the whole weekend. And then we took one, there was one peak picture, and Benny decided it was important to edit Deno's face on each one of the toes. So this exists in the world. There is a Deno foot pic in the world where
It's out there for
it's
all of
out
you.
there. Yeah.
Enjoy.
Look, we might see if we can share it with the stream one day because it's horrific.
On his Deno fans page.
I think we could replace this camera just with that image.
Look,
Just
maybe what we need to do is
Yeah.
just put an image up here for all our guests who come on stream, just to like lighten the mood a little bit. Be like, listen,
I got a few of those.
we
You got a
actually
few of
shot
those?
one toe over each of our faces. See from there.
Deno mask everywhere. Anyway, what we're actually here for, we're here to just chill and have a bit of a chat about CB24.
Yep.
You got in at 10 minutes before close yesterday.
Yeah, 5:45.
5:45.
Something like that. 15 minutes.
How was it?
It was all right. It's a long drive. Well, I'm saying that to you. Doesn't quite work, but yeah, very tedious drive.
Well, for everyone else in the world, 3 hours is still a long drive,
I
right?
overtook Ray on his scooter.
Did you?
With the enormous fish in tow.
Yeah. So
Completely insane.
Ray, one of our more veteran competitors, has brought a very large piece. Do you want to take that while I?
Hello.
He has.
Right. Well, the story is it's the same fish. Is it Matt DiPietro did that? It's a big garage kit. It's like an enormous fish with a man kind of walking next to it, and there's like a woman and a child on the back of it.
I think if you look at the Crimson Brush story, I put a very short clip of it up this morning. So
There you go.
But I will take some more footage.
He brought that down a freeway at 100 k's an hour on a scooter
Yep.
for some reason.
That's a vibe.
He should be locked up.
That
I
is-
don't
that
think
is-
he should be walking free.
It's
That's frightening.
The confidence that man has is scary.
Yeah.
You want to know something crazy about that?
Yeah, it can-
He'd not ever fully assembled it until the moment he got here either.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy. Yeah, he was building it on the submission table.
Yeah.
He's like sticking it together.
Yeah.
We need to get him on the stream.
Yeah.
Because did
Walking
you
past right now.
did you hear that the backpack that it was in broke?
Did it?
And he didn't realise until he got here.
It was
and
dragging on the ground.
It was dragging, and it had ripped a hole through the backpack and
Yep.
scratched up the case that the models were in.
Yep. It's the most frightening thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But it's
think-
here and it's unscathed.
It is somehow.
It looks fine.
It looks
Yeah.
very good.
Something that we should say about this model, right? Something we should say about this model is how big it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you entered a pretty big model last year, right? You probably had the biggest individual
remember what I
model.
did, the Tiger.
The Tiger with base, you know,
What has he done?
with base, you know,
Technical
YouTube
difficulties.
boy.
Technical difficulties.
with base to top. That was probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's tall for sure.
Was tall,
Yeah.
and this is about twice as tall as that, I reckon. Pretty
I'd
close
say
to
it's like 4 to 8 times the size. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in all
Overall.
dimensions. Yeah, it's enormous.
Yeah.
It's like 2 heads side by side or something.
I think the way you would tackle painting that is just completely different.
Yeah.
Like you just
It's
have
a
to.
statue.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Yeah.
statue. That's a good point. Yeah. So yeah, that's good on Ray for doing that. It's pretty cool.
Well,
But we have you here,
Would
so
you like me to bring some of Liam's models over to talk about?
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, love.
Let's have a bit of a chat about what you've brought for us.
Probably more interesting at a miniature painting event rather
Than-
than just
than
my
just,
opinions
than
on
just-
life and
And Ray.
and Ray.
Well, you and Ray are pretty good mates. You guys sort of come to events together, and I think you
I
guys,
drove him here last
Yeah,
year.
you guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Which,
guys came with an
As
army.
it turns out, I should have drove him here because
year.
he's insane.
It's a bit of streamception going
He
on.
shouldn't be trusted.
Crazy man. Alrighty.
Those are right. They're yours.
Yeah, no, unbelievable.
Alrighty. Well, let's pick one. Benny, open up, and Liam, you just
Alright.
talk us through.
Here you go, mate. You can talk through.
Yeah, you just
Why,
talk
thank
us
you.
through
Test 1, test 2.
What the vibe is?
Ooh, nice. So, was it last year? Last year, that's how
Last
dates
year,
work.
yeah.
We had Natalia, unpronounceable Polish last
Orich.
name. Yeah.
Orach, yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful painter here to judge at Crimson Brush, and she did some classes around the country as well. And this was the miniature for those classes, so we all painted a Niobe. Kind of liked where mine was going, to be honest, so I thought I would actually finish it off and bring it along as an entry. And for me, ooh, wow. Yeah, the focus was kind of largely on the skin and the metals with this one, so I was trying to... It's tricky, so like, I was trying to think more about an overall ambience, like a shadow color and a light color. I went for quite a simple one with this. It's purple shadows, yellow highlights.
Very classical
combo.
in miniature painting, yes.
Yeah. And I actually learned a lot about painting faces, particularly female ones on this, I think. That was partly because of Natalia. She had a lot of really good tips about
There's
face
a lot of
painting.
nuance in the method to painting faces.
Yeah.
For female sculpts, particularly very delicate female sculpts. And,
Yeah.
delicate in feature, not necessarily in form.
Yeah.
And Neko has got a lot of sculpts like that. So
Yeah, a lot of faces in that kind of general vein.
yeah, very much.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
one thing she said was like, if you put a small highlight underneath the nose, like, what's that called? Is it a septum?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what that's called?
Yep.
That bit. It makes the face look kind of cuter, which I had never heard, and it really does. Like,
Yeah.
that's a hot tip for female face painting.
Natalia, the way that Natalia sort of views miniature painting is quite unique, quite interesting. I had a lot of time to spend with Natalia when she was out here. I learned a couple of little things like that as well. She's very good at adjusting a sculpted face to what she wants the face to be, with changing dynamics of lips, like you said, the nose.
That's the scary thing about face painting. Is
Yeah.
it's so changeable, even
Yep.
at these large scales. Like a really small amount of paint somewhere can really change how a face looks.
Very much
And
so.
if you go down to like 32 mil, that effect is
Very hard
way
to-
stronger.
yeah,
like
yeah,
you can make a
100%.
bad sculpt look good or a good sculpt look terrible with
Indeed.
the tiniest amount of change.
So yeah, Niobe was awesome. We've got a miniature that's close to my heart, and now hopefully close to yours.
Yeah.
Uther.
It's kind of the same. It's a continuation of the same idea, really. So it's kind of about the ambience of it. It's more of a scene rather than just trying to paint something nicely. So the idea was to have him kind of over a burning city. So I think his little book is the, what's it called? The Malleus Maleficarum?
Yeah.
Hammer of Witches. It's like the old-timey tome for figuring out who's a witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted like a witch hunter version of Uther. Basically.
Yeah. He's got a bit of
Tattooed cross on the
yeah.
forehead.
I might nail you to a post. Energy.
Yeah,
Or maybe
it's
I
got a
won't.
spooky vibe.
I'll check the book.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Yeah. It's full of insane crap.
Yeah.
If they float,
Yeah.
they are a witch, I think. I
And
can't remember any of these rules, but they're all mad.
So let's talk about how ideas come to you. Are you they just pop in and you chase them, or are you inspired by something? You might have watched something, seen something, read something.
I think it's almost impossible to separate those two things a lot of the time, isn't it? Like, I mean, obviously, this is a very cliched thing to say. Art doesn't happen in a vacuum. Wisdom we can all take forward with us. Yeah, I mean, you don't really know where ideas come from, right? Like, I would say that generally I see a piece, I have an idea, and that's what makes me decide to buy it and paint it in the first place.
Sure.
But obviously, those ideas don't just come from my mind. Like, they come from things I see.
Your influences, things
Things you've
absorbed.
I think this one, for example, I think Eric Swinson did like a...
He did the green. He did her as an orc, didn't he? If I remember correctly, and it was
Yeah,
drop
he
shadowed.
did some kind of very different take on this.
Yeah.
That like wasn't what the sculpt was intended to be.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, that's a really interesting idea of like trying to change up a bust and
Yep.
do something it's not designed to do at all. Hence, cyberpunk version of what's meant to be a fantasy orc girl, right?
Did you come across any like pitfalls along the way with doing that, or any challenges? Challenges is probably a better word when trying to adjust a sculpt fundamentally just through paint.
I think you've got to pick the subject correctly, I guess, right? Like, obviously, some things are just not going to work that well. But the nice thing about a lot of these academic busts, particularly this one, is they are kind of quite ambiguous. So, I mean, this could be a lot of things.
It could.
I think, yeah. Actually, I'm particularly happy with the eyes on this one.
Yeah, the eyes actually caught my eye. They've got a nice glint. The glint in the eye is I mean, it's the sweet spot. It's the cherry.
Yeah.
If you get it right.
Yeah, I was thinking
you feel
about
good.
I can't even think of a specific example, but it's quite a common like movie poster trope where it's all dark and it's just the eyes that
Yes.
are really visible.
Yeah.
I was kind of going for that and trying to figure out how that effect is achieved.
I'd always so you remember in 300 when they do a scene on Xerxes where they fade it to just being his eyes at the very end. Like it's.
I mean, I don't, but it sounds right.
I'll point it out to you, but
Yeah.
like he's there, and then they
Yeah.
fade him just to his two eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I.
It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think the yellow really helps that. So
Yeah,
you want to give
definitely.
it yourself a go yourself. Try
Eye
that.
color choice is super interesting, right? Sometimes I feel you get a little bit boxed in for eye color choice. I think we see a lot of blue eyes in miniature painting, bluish green.
This is a perfect miniature to bring on now because, especially the eye color thing, I've really been thinking more about that
yeah,
for a while because I was just painting eyes like kind of normal colors.
Yeah.
Especially on subjects that are sort of semi-realistic. I don't think there's any reason to do that. It's just a thing that you think, I guess I should go for a normal eye color.
yeah. There's sort of. Well, I guess it's you're like I don't want to run the risk of like uncanny valley, right? I don't want to create
Yeah.
something that people can't identify with or think there's something wrong with just because it's different, right?
Yeah.
A little bit off. But
So this one, like, it's sort of, I mean, I'm not going to say realistic, but it's kind of semi-realistic in style. But it is a fantasy piece. Like, she's meant to be Athena, I guess.
Yeah.
So I went for these kind of really striking violet eyes,
yeah.
just as like a little hint towards that magic-y side of things.
I feel like, you know, Athena being a predominantly non-metal metallic piece with a few major features around it. You've painted a lot of non-metal metallic in your time now,
I'm giving it a shot, that's for sure.
but this one's a bit different. The gold's a bit different on this one.
Yeah.
Did you have a different approach?
I mean, so these, the ones, so Deno has brought these out basically in chronological order. Just, I guess, by coincidence. I don't think he knows. So these three were all done in a run, and they're all kind of working on that same theory of a stronger atmosphere. So this one has a very cold kind of side, and then as we pivot it, it gets towards more of like a dawn, sunset kind of orangier vibe. So I think that's part of what makes the metals look different.
I think this is my favourite of what you've brought this year.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's my favourite.
I like certain bits of it a lot.
It's hard when
always
you
the
make
way
it.
it
It's
is.
hard when you make it, right?
Yeah.
I think there's moments that when you're painting, you enjoy, and then you get a little bit attached to those areas on a miniature.
Yeah. I like the eyes on this one.
Yeah,
a lot.
I like it. I like the eyes. I like the shield. I like the polar. You know, which is I guess a real dorky miniature fan thing. And I enjoy the way the crest or the plume is interacting with the shield.
I like the
So,
color of that crest, actually.
Yeah,
Sort of
yeah.
tealish color. I think I should do more of that.
I'm a big fan of subdued, desaturated teals.
Oh, this is very specific.
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to love like really bold, loud teal colours, turquoisey colours, and I think they work so well, fantastically. Yeah, that's the right word.
I think blue-green is a favorite color of mine. It's
Yeah.
very versatile.
It is. About as versatile as burnt red.
Yeah.
I'm promoting a lot of burnt red this.
Big burnt red is backing you at CB24.
All right.
I think that piece kind of shows the versatility of blue-green as well.
Yeah,
because it
yeah,
has
absolutely.
the cold side and the warm side, and they both kind of work.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Now, everyone loves this. This is an event favourite for people. It is, because you're having fun,
Yeah.
and you're memeing, and
Yeah.
and people enjoy that. So,
I
take
mean, this
us through
is a
this
very
one.
simple story to be honest. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
I've had this little marine on my painting desk for maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe longer. I've repainted it, I don't know, at least a dozen times, let's say, just to test out different things. So this was like the first time I ever painted an gold, I think. So it was a while ago. And then I recently wanted to test out a resin pour for another piece that Deno may or may not bring. Give it a go. Yeah. So I wanted to test out a resin pour. Like, it's a larger volume than I'd done previously. It's a difficult thing to get completely perfect and crystal clear. So I gave it a go, and that meant that at the end of it, the test marine was encased in a solid block of somewhat badly cast resin. So I thought, you know what? Why not have another entry? I'll stick it on a plinth.
And it's fun.
Bring it
And like, so, I mean, miniature painting can get a serious business sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can stand on itself a little bit on that. So bringing some fun, some humour, and I guess a bit of a, you know, a jovial spirit to it. It's good.
I would enjoy
it
making
needs
the judges have an opinion on it as well. Because they'll have to say something.
They will have to say something.
Even if they just pass it over the camera. It's going to appear.
Even if they laugh, that's probably a great result. It's probably done its job, you know what I mean? So, all right, and this is your final piece, yes, that you've brought?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. No, you've got one more, actually. You've got one more. You do have one more. There is an angel. Rather than do a quick hover by and then maybe stop past each one individually, and we'll just have a bit of a chat
This is never going to all go on camera
at
once, really.
We'll just give you the floor to just talk us through all of this.
Yeah, I almost don't know what to say about it. It's just supposed to be fun, really. Like, I think often, like, miniature painting, particularly for a competition, can be, I mean, we just kind of covered this topic actually, can be quite serious in a way. Like, you're thinking, I need to make something that is the best thing I have made. And there's a lot of pressure associated with that. And then there's a kind of follow-on downside, which is if you do that and you bring it and it doesn't do very well, that's kind of crushing, you know? Like, you've got built-up expectations about how successful this thing is going to be. It doesn't do that well. It's quite disappointing. So I thought it would be really fun to just do something where I just like the idea. I like animals.
In a way, this is crush-proof.
It's crush-proof.
It's crush-proof because it means something to you. You love it.
Yeah.
You love what it is. And I think it resonates with people. I think we sort of had a bit of a chat. We had a bit of a chat online on the stream yesterday about animal pieces, you know, or let's sort of modern pieces that are not really focused primarily on
a surge.
Yeah, or made also not focused on sort of aggressive, you know, war-based things.
It's hard to think of the right term to describe this, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I think
it's almost like a still life or something.
Tranquil.
Capturing a moment.
I think, what's the term? Lifestyle. There's lifestyle pieces. Well, there's lifestyle pieces. So, like, a good example of lifestyle stuff is some of the stuff that's been coming out of FER, and then Mark Maskelyne's stuff, right?
Yeah, so Mark Maskelyne has a few.
This sort of fits somewhere in that space, right? It is a lot. It's not a human lifestyle, but it's just animals living their life in the wild. So,
it's vignettes, basically. Maybe that is the right word. I think vignette.
Vignette, they have vignettes.
Yeah,
so
it's just little scenes from nature.
So, what's the symbology of these pieces to you, like nature-wise? Are these locations that you want to go, you've seen, you like, or just?
Australia, mate.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are for sure.
Yeah.
The bird is from somewhere. Africa?
Yeah.
I don't know, somewhere weird.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I don't think monkeys are from Australia.
Monkeys, yeah. Famously, the Australian monkey.
Yeah. He's standing over there.
We've got at least one species of monkey.
We do
around,
right now.
Nothing at all.
You can watch the stream back.
Yeah. The little monkey that was done for the Guilds Inn workshop 2023. I taught like a little kind of seminar on basing there.
You did?
Yeah.
It was really successful. And I think a credit to that is some of the people that attended that class's work at the Crimson Brush this year.
I think a few of the actual bases are here.
Yep.
Which is nice. Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
very pleased by that. So that one was just done for that, and that's kind of where I originally had the idea. So I enjoyed doing that. It was quick. It was fun. I got to explore an atmosphere and create something interesting, and it was just a nice experience. So I thought, I might do a few more of these.
Which one came next?
I can't even remember.
Was it the deer or the bird?
It was the deer.
The deer, yeah.
Yeah. This one, I saw a painting somewhere online of a kind of sunset savannah thing. Can't remember where or why, but I just really liked the atmosphere of it, so I thought it'd be nice to kind of create that scene. I had a little... Oh no, I started building this one. The painting was randomly seeing the savannah thing. I built this one as a test piece at the Guilds Inn workshop.
Nice.
So it wasn't meant to have anything on it. And
So
then
you have
Ray,
one-
again, just walked over with the deer. He just had a deer, and he was like, "Oh, that might fit. Put it there," and it was like perfect. It was the exact right thing.
Serendipitous.
Yeah. Very nice.
That's awesome. All right, where are we going after the deer?
And then it was the bird.
The bird. Yep.
Not complicated. I like rainforests.
Yep.
I like rainforest
I
basing.
I think if people have not figured that out about you yet,
I've done a few of these.
You've done a few of these.
I like waterfalls.
Yep.
Yeah, and I wanted to do like something where there was a very small, little, brightly coloured animal kind of hidden in the scene.
Side note, you like to swim a lot, right? Is it? Yeah.
We're gonna get there in a second.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
So the next one is the underwater one.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is.
Can you pull back on that one a little bit, Benny? Yeah. Let's get the background in there too. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I live in Manly, which is a suburb in Sydney. It's a coastal suburb, famous beach there. I swim like a couple of Ks every morning in the ocean there with this big community group. And these are basically a lot of the animals that are native to the area. I've cheated a bit with the eagle rays because we don't have the spotted kind. We have a much less exciting looking brown eagle ray.
Sometimes you need to take some artistic liberty and change things up to get a little bit of drama
so I've
in the
pulled
piece.
the spotted ray from a bit further north, brought that down to the local area. But the rest of them, they're just animals from the area. So the little yellow fish, those are yellowtail scads. You get massive schools of them. Somewhere hiding in there is a giant cuttlefish.
Down the bottom there, I can see it.
Yeah.
There. Just down there,
Yeah, so certain times of year, those are really common.
Yes.
You get heaps and heaps of them. There's a kingfish, there's all kinds of stuff. So it's about like taking a part of my life that I really enjoy, that brings me a lot of peace, and trying to capture that in a little miniature form.
A little piece of home.
Yeah, basically.
That's awesome. That's
and the scene above the water, that's actually the view from Manly Point towards the ominously named Dead Man's Point.
Yes. So I think this is why I really enjoy doing this and sitting with different artists, because there's no way I can know all of that, right? But I do know all of it now, and it changes the way I think and feel about things.
Yeah.
To know, I guess, I mean, it's sentimental. There's a sentimental nature to this. So I really appreciate that, and I think that adds a lot of oomph to it.
No, I do like it a lot more because of that connection.
Yeah, awesome.
And then the final one is the quokka.
The quokka!
That's just a cute Australian animal.
It is.
Let's not beat around the bush.
Let's
this
not.
is the internet's favourite animal.
I like that.
Let's
beat
go for
around the bush. Very Australian saying.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
No, I found an STL for this. I think it's sculpted by Miniatures Den or something. I was just looking for Australian animals. Wanted to finish it off with a proper Aussie one. And I really liked this particular sculpt, so just went for that.
Awesome. Congratulations, man. I think as a whole...
it's very small.
I didn't realise how small that one was. I should have
tiny.
known it's probably a thumbnail.
Yeah. It's hiding in there.
But no, all in all, congratulations on this piece. I think it's lovely.
Thank you.
I enjoy that you are doing different things, trying different things. I think that's, I think we both sort of received some feedback last year about going down different paths and doing different stuff, and I think you've taken that and run with it.
Yeah. Part of it for me is just doing kind of what I feel like doing. Not being so worried about what's a good thing to do.
We've had a lengthy discussion about this privately. It's no secret that I think people who really love miniature art also love talking about miniature art and exploring the inner depths of miniature art. You can't shut them up once it starts.
There's no finishing.
And we were talking about, is that something that happens when you've experienced competing a few times, that you start to be less concerned with results of competition, and you're attending, a big part of why you're attending is for the community side, sharing your work, spending time with your friends in the scene?
Certainly what happened to me, but hard to say how universal that is.
I think I certainly have felt that. And I don't know whether that's, we were contemplating whether or not that is based on the results you've received. And once you get those results, that sort of opens up the next door in the journey, or if it's just a more personal thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say.
Philosophy of miniature painting.
We've got a question.
We have a question.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
How did I do the amazing trees? It depends on the trees. There's a bunch of different trees in there.
I reckon it's probably either... I think it'll either be the rainforest or the deer. Yeah.
The rainforest and the deer, those are both mostly 3D printed trees from Make It Epic, Epic Basing.
Yep.
Just converted quite heavily.
Yeah, shout out to Make It Epic. They're Australian based as well. They're always at ARC doing. They go to ARC and give out. They do price support for ARC and all sorts.
Didn't know this.
Are you coming to ARC? Yeah, excellent. Awesome. We'll get onto that a little bit later. Let's continue with the trees.
So those are just kind of converted a bunch, but they're the same basic sculpt at a few different scales. The Quokka one, they're both just branches. They're twigs, basically. Yeah, stick them
Find
in the
it in the garden, stick it in the oven, stick them on a base.
Yep. Yeah. I think you kind of can't beat actual natural materials for imitating natural materials.
Yeah,
or at least it's hard to do.
It's quite interesting. Do you think there's a decline in using natural materials in miniature painting as like 3D printing becomes more predominant in what it can achieve?
I guess the thing about a lot of 3D printed natural stuff is it's not that natural looking. So it's a style. I mean, unsurprisingly, it's an interpretation of nature, right? Like it's someone's sculpture that's meant to look like something natural, but it's not something natural. So that works if you have like a figure or a scene or whatever that's in that style, like it's inhabiting a world that all looks like that, right? I think that makes sense. If you're just trying to be as natural as possible, I think.
So when I'm spending time with painters who are and creatives who are like earlier in their journey, the word I tend to use a lot is indication, right? You're trying to indicate towards something, not necessarily represent that exact thing, right? Because it doesn't always translate through scaling issues or through a really good example of this, right? Dirty Down Rust is a really great product, right? But Dirty Down Rust looks literally like rust.
Yeah.
Now you have to figure out with that product, is that rust going to work on what you're doing or not?
Yeah.
You know, it's a really good example of that.
I think you have to remember when you're doing miniature painting, creating miniatures, like it's not real. You're not creating reality, and you won't, no matter what you do. And if you did, it would probably be a lot more boring than what you want it to be. Like it wouldn't actually be that exciting if it was strictly real. So it's always an interpretation. It's your own idea of how something should be, and making everything about that fit in with the interpretation. That's kind of part of the art form, I guess.
You got any feelings for us, Benny, on that?
I kind of agree with everything. I'm just vibing.
You're vibing?
Yeah, I'm like,
you were our stream hand model that one. You did a great job. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything you've spotted out there that you've seen and gone really like that?
Jared's DJ Wizard.
Yes.
Love that. That's a hell of an idea. That's probably one of the best ideas I've seen.
Classic Jared.
Maybe ever.
Yeah.
It's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Because it's so surprising. Like, I don't think you would ever imagine. Oh yeah, a nice wizard bust. DJ.
You know how it manifested?
No. Might have.
The hand, and that is it. The hand over the book, and the way the hand and fingers were posed was enough for him to say, "That's a DJ doing DJ business."
Yeah.
Super cool. That's why I find it fascinating at times where the ideas come from, and how they manifest. And then we were having a chat with DC last night, and he was asking, how do you prioritize, to Jared, how do you prioritize and order the ideas? And Jared's like, well, exactly by not prioritizing and order them. Something will happen, I will feel a strong way about it and feel that I have to bring it into existence.
Yeah, mine are prioritized based on enthusiasm.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Sometimes fear as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like the
Push
fear.
it down.
Yeah.
Got that Squidmar owl that keeps sliding backwards into the distance.
Yeah, that is a big owl, isn't it?
Yeah. Many ideas for that one.
Awesome. Alrighty, well, we might wrap this one up because I need to bring Andrew on for a bit of a chat, but it's always a pleasure to have you on. You were on last year.
Yeah, I was.
You were. We were a bit more. We talked a bit more analytically about work, I think, last year or maybe a bit more organising questions last year than being free form.
Can't even remember.
What did you prefer? Did you prefer this or did you prefer last year?
I'm alright with either, to be honest.
Awesome.
Yeah, casual chat's nice.
Yeah, let's get some on-air feedback.
It's all crap.
It's all crap. Be better.
Take it to a skip.
Just be better.
Just be better.
All right. Well, we're going to go back out onto the floor for a little bit, see if any of our comrades need a hand.
Before you shut off,
Yes.
I'm going to bring Seb's piece over.
Okay.
Oh, has he just done it? Oh, this is about to get. It's about to get real.
It's about to get. Yeah.
I saw it like 3/4 done, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
tear into shreds.
Yeah. There was a lot of sanding involved.
All right.
Have you seen it, Liam?
Yeah. Well, not finished. I want to see the resin because I was very curious.
All right.
Let's have a quick look before you just show the camera for us, just to get a better view. Oh boy,
Right.
Man, that resin ended up looking real sinister.
This is
Oh, it looks very good under the camera.
it's
God.
like
Whoa. Show it from like the...
it's sinister.
Yeah, that angle. Yeah, the
Seb just
force
dropping
perspective
bombs.
really works, doesn't it? Man.
That's what you can expect from Australian miniature painting.
Some kind of weird nonsense. The fox that was originally meant to be a cat eating a fish head. Surprise. Man, he improved this so much since like 2 weeks ago.
You never know. A term I use, right, is it's breaking the back of the miniature. You never know when you're going to break the back of the miniature, but
Yeah.
when you do, it's kind of when you tame it. You know, like they're wild for a while, and you've got to tame it. You've got to bring it into line, into focus, and into your creative direction. And the moment that happens, everything gets a little bit easier. And it looks like you obviously saw this before the back was broken, and now we're looking at it after.
It's one of those things that once the elements are all together, it looks much better than they do separately. So like he hadn't done the little lamps with the lighting and everything.
Yeah, what's that say? The sum of its parts? Yeah. Yeah.
Greater than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And it works so well on the camera. Like,
Yeah.
the perspective thing is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Amazing
Very
color
cool.
choices.
Very cool. There is some real classic Seb colours in here.
green.
Teal, turquoise, very Seb. I enjoy that. The rust. This is a really good example of rust. What we were talking about before, about making sure you manage your perspective in that space.
Yeah. Man, he made a good choice with gross water.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the resin has gone perfectly.
Well,
But
it definitely
it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah.
It's meant to.
It doesn't. It doesn't look like a pleasant place to be.
No, not good.
Is that
Yeah,
so?
fantastic.
Can we go foreground? Right. Is this just a little
fox
fox
eating a fish
friend
head.
eating a fish head?
Yep.
Oh, ripping its eyeballs out.
I think it's literally ripping the eyeball out. Yep.
Dave?
All of this was sculpted by Seb as well.
I wonder how those fish women feel about that.
The fox is wisely behind the yellow taped line.
Yeah, true. It is respecting the rules.
Yeah, it's following the rules. Yeah, Seb sculpted every single part of this as well. So the
Maybe
fox
I'll
is his
try-
sculpt, fish head.
Maybe
it's
I'll
all
try
his.
find a time to get Seb in and have a chat about it and see his feelings.
Yeah, I like this so much more than I expected to.
Yeah?
Wow, it's really cool.
Awesome. Well, there you go.
Beautiful.
First
The
reveal.
chipped up random writing on the wall as well. Like,
How do you feel about that?
good.
I think that's one of those like brain scratching things for miniature painters is like damaged
damage is always better than not.
stenciled letters.
Yeah. It's always better than clean stenciled stuff. It always
Yeah.
looks more fake when you have perfectly
Yeah,
clean stencil.
yeah.
I told him to do the stenciled letters.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was arguing strongly for stenciling, I don't know,
So
random letters
if this does well, cut a slice out for Liam.
there.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take his pin, whatever he gets. I don't know what the medals are. I'll just snip a little
Yeah,
corner
you'll just
out.
take out a corner and go, thank me later.
Ah, it's beautiful. Love it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
No
All
worries.
right.
All right, well, it's been a pleasure, as I said, to chat. We will take a brief break and then we will swing back in. I think I'll come back with Andrew Long and then we might do some floor work, or actually I might see if I can snag Seb for a bit of a conversation.
Yeah.
But it's been a pleasure, as always, to talk to you, and good luck for the event.
Thank you. Cheers.
And we'll be back soon.
See you all soon.